In this lesson, we'll be developing the structural grid for our house. We will start by activating the grid element tool, which is under documenting tools. So to the left side of your screen, below the design tools, we have document, and this is the grid element tool. So click on it to activate it. Then we open the settings dialog for the grid element. So these are the default settings. Under floor plan settings, we select hidden line, and we have options for showing on which story we want to display this grid. So I'll leave this as it is. I want to show it on all stories. This is the pen for the grid element that I want to use. So if you want to use a different one, you can click on this. Then you'll have all these options for you to select from. So let's get back. We have the markers here. I want to display them, so hide that. Let's open a section and elevation settings, and here the only thing I want to change is the line, so I'll use hidden line. We have other settings such as naming rules, where we can generate names automatically. We can choose to start with either, and depending on the style that we are applying, we have ABC style, we have 1, 2, 3. We have these options that are there for us to choose from. So I want to have this as ABC, and then the marker, this is the diameter. Let me change that to 6 millimeters. That is the circle. And then under text style, I want to change the font type to Montserrat. So where is Montserrat? It's here. Montserrat. And then this is 3 millimeters for the font size. We have settings for 3D view. So do you want to display your grid element in 3D view? If you choose that, the grid elements will be shown when you open the 3D window. So we have options for showing the grid lines as either you can choose to show it as a line, or you can just leave it as it is. You have a marker text. You have options for selecting the surface for the grid element marker text in 3D. Then at the end of it, we have options for classification and properties. So these are for things like ID and categories. We have options for renovation status and renovation filters. So when you are done with that, click on OK. Then we can start drawing our grid lines. So I'll start here, click, then I will have that as my first grid line. Then the second grid line is 1000 millimeters. So Control Shift D. So let's have drag a copy from here. 1000. We have the next spaced at 3400. So repeat the same procedure. The next one is spaced at 4300. We have this at a spacing of 1900, and we have the next spaced at 1400. From there we have 2400, and we have 1200. These are the vertical grid elements. We also have, let me put them at the center. horizontal grid elements. So I'll start by placing the very first one here, from there to that point. Then what I will do is I will replicate this by selecting it and dragging a copy. This copy is 1500. Drag another copy and place it at 2000 millimeters away from the other one. And you have drag another copy, place that at 3600 millimeters. Drag another copy. This is 1300. We have this at 1300 also. And the next one is 3800. The last one is 2300. So move or drag a copy and place it at 2300. Those are the vertical and horizontal grid elements. So let's say I want to adjust, rather let me move these ones, the horizontal grids, downwards. Let's say to that point, place them there. Then I will select these and adjust them to that point, so just to make sure that we have a uniform grid. If you look at our grid lines, you notice that they are all having the same naming. So we have this as A, this is A, this is A, all these are the same, but we want to have different namings. So if this is grid number 1, I'm supposed to select it and go to the settings dialog. Under naming rules, we have custom. So here I'll change that to 1, then click OK. So you can see that has been renamed to number 1. Alternatively, I can just select it, and then we have a info box contents here. Under these options, we have grid naming and we have options for a custom name. So here where we have name, I will just type 2 and enter. When you do that, you see we have a change that name. So I'll do this quickly. So change this to 3. I will change the next one to number 4. Change this to 5, 6, 7. That is 8. So we have 8 vertical grids. Then with the horizontal grids, the very first one is A. So we have B. The next is C. This is D, E, D, E, F. Then we have G and H. So these are the grids that are going to help us to place our load-bearing walls for the house. So we are done with the grids. If you want to confirm the dimensions, you can activate dimensions. Each is under documenting tools. Then we have this option for dimension. Click on it and then go to the settings dialog for the dimensions. Then under dimension type, choose this custom height witness line. Then have that as that way. Then click on OK. Now we can go ahead and pick these lines to dimension them. You bring the cursor above the grid line, and you will notice the color changing from green to blue. Then when that happens, click on it to pick that as a dimensioning point, and do that with the rest of the grid lines. Then after that, just double click at this point, then move the witness line to where you want to place those dimensions. Then they will be placed there. So that's it with those. We repeat the same procedure with the horizontal grids and place that dimension. There is a copy of this in the resources section, so make sure to check it and make reference to it. That's how to develop a structural grid for our project.